Hello, hello, hello. This is sometimes you feel like a nut, and sometimes you know. I can't even finish that because a lot of these cases is just sometimes you feel like it just woo. This is Melanie Farris's sentencing. And this was so awkward. I thought Sarah Boone's was awkward, which we're going to get to in another video. Because I'm new to this, so, bear with me. But I could not believe this. Of course they investigated the rest of the family. Of course. She's a smaller woman. It doesn't really, you know what I mean? You got to look at everybody else because it's like, come on. But they did not get, husband and wife did not get along for the longest time. He's the man of the house paying all the bills. He's in the basement of his own house, living there, sleeping there, eating there. And she's having different affairs. Here, there, someone's cousin, I think her distant cousin. Just some weird stuff. I think he flirted with like 2 women, phone, or maybe even like on the computer. Flirted. I think they were married for over 20 years. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. So this is the defense lawyer finishing up because, I'm going to get to the prosecutors, and then Melanie is going to talk. Let's see.
That the appropriate sentence in this case would be the court to sentence her to life on count 1, with counts 4 and 5 and 10 to run concurrent. At least that will give her some possibility of being parole eligible at some point in the future.
All right. Look at her face. She is not happy. Not happy.
Judge, a jury has already convicted Melanie Farris of all the crimes in this
Look at her face. She don't like this prosecutor.
They did not
Right until what she got to say about her.
They did not see the holes. They saw the pictures clearly as Mr. Fogus, Hayes and I did, and the family. I want to start by talking about the aggravation in this case. I think it's pretty clear the jury convicted her of concealment. And within that concealment, the facts were that she burned his body to 33 pounds of a 300.
That was evil. She shot him and then got him to the burn pile. They couldn't even identify him. That is evil.
100-pound man. And the facts in this case also made it clear that she wanted him found. She watched Amanda and Scott both walk by the burn pile. Amanda even tossed something in there, waiting for someone to find his remains because she is not stupid. She knew a body needed to be found. So she pointed out to Scott, strategically, her child. She made her children find this body. Their father burned up in a burn pile. The granddaughters were on the property looking for him.
Unbelievable.
The fact that she used the children and Lake Lanier as an attempted alibi, it's deplorable. When you think about her statements to Rusty Barton, when she states that body should not have been burned up, she wanted her children to find their father.
Right. This is one of her sons.
I say all this to say that the way Gary Farris was rolled out after being shot by his wife of 38 years
38
to a burn pile on his own property, disposed of like trash, when he had just been blessed with a 3rd granddaughter 6 months before, and now he will never meet the future grandchildren.
Evil, evil, evil.
He was robbed of a life as a grandfather, a father to his adult children to help them navigate the difficulties of life. That was supposed to be his best stage of life. Being a grandparent.
This pretty much is the
Let's get
last
through this a
place
little bit.
you're
I
going to
didn't
get
realize how
truth.
much you talked.
And has that ever
Show
been
us that.
proven, 's got to be the truth in this case.
But it should reflect.
And has that ever been proven, 's got to be the truth in this case. And has that ever been proven, 's got to be the truth in this case. And has that ever been proven, 's got to be the truth in this case. And has that ever been proven, 's got to be the truth in this case. And has that ever been proven, 's got to be the truth in this case. And has that ever been proven, 's got to be the truth in this case. And has that ever been proven, 's got to be the truth in this case. And has that ever been proven, 's got to be the truth in this case. And has that ever been proven, 's got to be the truth in this case. And has that ever been proven, 's got to be the truth in this case. And has that ever been proven, 's got to be the truth in this case. And has that ever been proven, 's got to be the truth in this case. And has that ever been proven, 's got to be the truth in this case. And has that ever been proven, 's got to be the truth in this case. And has that ever been
This lady. This lady.
Not only did I not do this, I know you did.
She says she knew he did. She said she knew he did. This pay's been going on for over 5 years. Why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you speak up? Evil.
I know Scott killed his father.
And Scott's right there. He's in the court. This is embarrassing. This is evil. This is manipulative. This is all of the things. All of it. All of it in one. This is, I don't even know how she was allowed to even continue this. Seriously.
He took my husband,
Oh,
the father of Chris,
now it's her
Emily,
husband.
and Amanda. He took Big Daddy from our grandchildren, Ella, Addison, Olivia, Jax, and James. 3 of them who never got to know Gary.
This lady.
Scott, this is unforgivable.
Look at him. Look at him.
Scott has spent an entire life of loving and protecting you, but this I refuse to cover for you.
Look at him. He's like,
My
enough.
mother,
Enough.
your mom,
She is evil.
begged me to take the blame for this. She said after she talked to you, after Gary died, that she knew you had done it. Her exact words were, "You are his mother. You have to take blame for this." And I told her no, that I couldn't. I still have 3 other children, grandchildren, and this is not a stolen credit card, a check, or a diamond ring that you've pawned, all of which you have done. I saw you coming.
She's bringing all their dirty laundry up. Yes, they weren't perfect. Yes, they were still borrowing, staying at the house. You know, no family's perfect. But this is to another level. This is to another level.
From that burn pile in the morning of July the 5th
She's seen him, she says.
in your truck. You told me that you were checking on the fire to make sure that it wasn't going to get the woods on fire. You told me it was okay. I asked you a few weeks later why you were at that burn pile in your truck. And you told me that your dad had told you to clean up the extra wood that was by the barn.
He worked on the farm. He worked on the farm. Believe me, they looked him over, up and down and sideways, inside and out.
Barn. I told Hayes that I had seen Scott that morning coming from the burn pile. So, Hayes, where is that recording?
Talking to the
know.
prosecutor.
You told me there was multiple recorders. You did, but you sat here in this courtroom and you told this court that you didn't tell anybody about recorders, but you did. Where is that recording
Crazy.
in the
That's
interview?
crazy. Look at everybody's
Scott,
face.
Immediately
Everybody's
started
face.
saying that there was a gun missing, a gun that nobody knew about. You never mentioned.
No, because you took it out of that lady's house that you were taking care of while you were shacking up with her stepson. You're devious. You're devious.
Before. I asked you more days than not where your dad was, and this was the first time you ever had that response. There's a gun missing. You should have you did start immediately spinning your story. When you found out that Addison and Cameron were there the night before, you got so
Crazy.
angry.
So mean.
Now I know
So
why.
mean. It's so mean.
When I went to feed the baby goat the morning that
They finally cut her off. Finally. She pretty much got everything out. She pretty much got everything out, for the most part. Like, this is crazy. You're accusing your own son at your hearing of him doing it. Come on, lady.
Right. Well, Ms.
Look
Farris,
at him. He doesn't even know what to say.
really not supposed to go into the evidence of this phase of the case. And what I typically do is if the defendant wants to go into the facts of the case, I'm going to allow the state to cross-examine or ask questions, which I don't really anticipate you want to do.
Hold on.
But
closed, Judge.
your statements needs to be constrained to the punishment, and if there's things you want to talk
Let me go
about in
check. One of
relation
my
to
animals
that
I have
and
to do.
how I should sentence you,
One of them.
I don't have a problem if you want to continue to profess your innocence, but we're not going to go on for a significant period of time. You resuscitate your view of the case and your opinion as to what the evidence is without your prior testimony and without the state being able to cross-examine it. It's not proper. So I'm going to ask you to restrain your remarks to comply with those directions.
Look at her face.
Judge,
Baby,
this
let me
needs to
see
be
it. Are you
known.
gonna go downstairs?
Well,
It needs to be heard,
I'll
she
just
said.
ask to respond, Judge.
all right. All right, go ahead.
Excuse me.
I went to feed the baby goat the morning of July the 5th before I left for the lake. I saw where you had washed out the barn. I later found that several bottles of house wash were missing after this all happened several weeks ago. Now I know why. The photos of your bathroom spotlessly clean. Now I know why.
Now she knows. So she got a
I
feeling.
know why you demanded me
It's
to
all in her
move the
head.
tractor that you so were upset about it being in the place.
Oh, because her fingerprints were the last one on it. So now she's saying her son made her move it. Lady,
Now I know why.
the jury found you guilty.
Scott, you called me on July the 4th and asked me what my plans were for the day.
Because it's July the 4th. It's 4th of July. Of course he's going to call you and ask you, what are your plans? Everybody does that.
And I told you I was going to the lake with Amanda, and you were so glad that I was going. I thought it odd then. Now I know why.
This must be so embarrassing and so hurtful to her son. How many cameras and everything are on there and just looking right at him to get his reaction while she accuses her own son. You piece of crap.
I found copies of my birth certificate, your dad's birth certificate, our marriage license in your truck.
I don't know anything about that. I never heard any of that during the trial. None of it.
Now I know why.
Oh, she knows why.
Scott, I saw Gary going to that barn the night of July.
Now she's admitting she's seen Gary going, her husband going into that barn. She never spoke up once in over 5 years. Not once. Now she's seen him.
July the 3rd, right after you got home.
Bro.
And then Scott is going, and I thought then Scott's going to be in trouble for staying at the lake and playing golf all the time. Never in a
This is
million
too much.
years did I ever think that this nightmare
much.
was starting then.
She is too
I
much.
told you, Detective Hayes, that I saw Scott going over there to the barn. Where is that in the recording? A bag. I know exactly where and when I was standing. Scott, you put antifreeze under my kitchen sink to set me up for this. The only
What?
you would have known where it was because it was for the Mercedes.
This is crazy.
When Amanda and I were putting that house back together, you sat in there and watched us like a hawk. Now,
Because at this point, they think you're guilty. At this point, you're a suspect. At this point, you're the only suspect. So yes, the rest of the family and they are going to look at you. We just found our dad in a burn pit. Of course. We're going to see what the hell is going on. How did this happen? We already know Mom hates Dad. They don't get along. But Dad just wants to keep trying and wants to try to keep his family. And look what she did.
I know why. You became so angry when the fire investigator came in July, weeks after this nightmare started. Now I know why you were so angry. Scott, you failed your polygraph test. You recorded meetings at the attorney's office and turned them over to the DA's office. We hired Manny to help us. Emily is the one who used her daddy's credit card to pay for that attorney. Scott, you got so angry that your sister Amanda was
hurtful.
getting my personal clothes and my personal things to the point that Cherokee County had to be called. That is not the actions of the same person.
Oh, come on.
Scott's anger issues have all been a huge issue. When he was in kindergarten and elementary school,
All right, enough.
Chris
I'm
would,
objecting. At this point, she's dragging Scott through the mud, and
Yes, she
this is
is.
not.
All right, Ms. Farris,
This is not about Scott.
I'm gonna
It's
cut you
about
off.
you.
You keep just wanting to resuscitate facts that aren't before the court. And
Ding,
Ms.
ding,
Frankish,
ding, ding,
I'll
ding.
give you a chance to respond to the extent that you want to and give you closing statement.
I am the mother that was always there for my children, even though
You
they had
should have
done
been.
things that were wrong. Chris, who took care of your girls and loved them if they were my own, who came and got them off the street when you were acting an absolute fool because they were scared to death, who drove down to Buckhead and got your children.
Now, I will tell you, okay, so just to kind of give you some direction. Things that are appropriate, you helping take care of your family, raise your family, those kind of things, what you've done throughout your life, and asking the court to exert some sort of mercy on you,
Bro.
things of that nature are appropriate. So
Yeah, okay.
you can talk about those kind of things, but let's don't go into the individual facts or things that haven't been previously presented to the court. Okay? All right, go ahead.
I love Ella and Addison more than life itself. And it was their life or mine, it would be mine in a heartbeat. Emily, who helped you move to and from an apartment and a house in
And she keeps talking about her family.
so many whys. Why were so many things not their task? Why was the barn never checked?
Thought it
I
was
think that would have
checked.
given us so many answers.
Listen to this part.
Why did they run out of Blue Star? They were on my property for days. I begged of you to get answers.
It's coming. It's coming.
Judge Cannon, I'm begging for justice for Gary, for my children,
He's
for my
getting it.
grandchildren,
He's
for
getting
Gary's
it.
family. And I am begging that you throw out this verdict.
You
Be the
wish.
13th juror. Help us get justice.
You
I
did.
did not do this.
Yeah,
I
you
promise
did.
you on my life.
Yeah, it doesn't mean much.
The 18 months that I did in Cherokee County was nothing compared to the last month that I spent in there. Now I know that Cherokee County did not do their job in the investigation. They took Scott's story and ran with it.
No, they followed the evidence.
I know that in my heart, body, and soul, who did this. And I'm begging for help. I'm begging you, Judge Cannon.
Yeah.
Please do not send me to prison for something I didn't do. I did not do this.
Mm.
If I had done this, I would take this charge gladly.
Yeah, okay, lady. You want to be with
If
your
it would
boyfriend?
bring Gary back, I would gladly go to prison.
Mm. Who believes her? Who
I do
believes
not
her?
want to wait years for an appeal. I've waited 6 years and 5 months for justice already, but here we are. Maybe I should have testified,
Should have.
but I listened to legal counsel.
Now legal's going under the
I
bus.
wanted the truth out there.
Now
And
she wants the
this is why
truth.
I am making this statement.
That's for sure.
I will talk to any and everyone. who can
Everybody. I'll
help
talk
me
to
and my
everybody
family.
right now. Everybody.
I never wanted my family's life to be played out for the world to see. It is a mother's job to protect her children,
Yeah, and you're doing the worst.
and I cannot
worst.
protect the person who did this.
Lady. God, she don't give up.
We
She don't
can't
give up.
replace Gary. That is unforgivable. I promise you to work hand in hand with the
Listen-
DA's office.
Listen to this, Bo.
But what scares me the most is that because of several individuals, so many others in this county that did not do their job,
Nobody did their job.
justice will never be done. For the last 6 years and 5 months, my every thought has been consumed with this.
I believe it is.
No matter what I do, it never leaves.
I believe
And
it.
until you have lived this, nobody can understand.
That's
and
probably the first honest thing she said. She thinked about this every single day for the last 6-9 years. And now she's in the cell. You mean nothing to do. You got so much time to think. And she just took herself right out of the story. When it was you. It was you. You're not taking any type of responsibility. This is what this opportunity is for. To take responsibility or say you didn't do it or, apologize. But she just went the total, it's not even a reverse. I don't know what it is. She just, I'm trying to remember the part, 'cause I keep saying, listen to this, but it's coming. Ding, ding.
I would not wish this on anybody. When I heard of the mother of the boy at the Appalachia school shooting, she called to tell that her own son was going to the school with a gun.
She did the
My
right
heart
thing.
Broke for her.
She did the right thing.
This is a mother's worst nightmare. Judge Cannon, I beg of you for help. As one parent to another,
Yeah.
help me get justice for Gary and my family.
He's getting it.
A mother, or at least not this mother, does not blame her child unless she knows he did it. Not thinks, knows. And I would never sit here and let the attorneys lay blame to him
No, please.
if I didn't know. You have no idea how heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching this is. John Luke says that I'm the most stoic person
Yeah, you're
he's
something,
ever
alright.
met.
You're something.
My response was, you never know how strong you are until that's your only choice. So before it's said that the only reason I'm telling you this is because I got a guilty verdict, it's not.
Damn it.
If it had come back as not guilty, I would have still been begging for justice,
It's coming
for
somewhere.
help getting the
Sorry.
right person
But it is.
convicted. As soon as I walked out of the courtroom, I promise you, I would have done that. Chris, Emily, Amanda, Ella, Addison, Olivia, Jack, and James, I'm doing this for you.
Hmm.
Gary is gone, and trust me. When I say that he is in a better place, because this has been the worst nightmare. It's been hell on
I'm
earth.
so sorry, Scott.
Knowing that your own son did this.
Hmm.
And it's only been by the grace of God that I have survived this last 6 years and 5 months. If I could, I would gladly trade places with Gary.
Evil.
Judge Cannon, I am begging you for help.
What's the part?
Please do this for Gary
I don't want to miss it.
and
but-
my family. I have missed years with the people that I love dearly. Help me restore my family. Be the person in Cherokee County
No one else
that
helping
is
me.
their task.
Hmm.
I do not want years. I do not want to wait years for justice, years that I may not have. I know this is
Sit down, baby,
something
sit
that
down.
you may never have seen before.
Sit down.
And I plead with you to roll this verdict out. Help me
Nope.
get justice for the correct person.
Huh. Yeah.
As bad as it sounds, I want to be there to watch him chained and shackled and brought to justice. I plead with you.
Did you hear that nonsense? She wants to be there to see him chained and shackled, to bring him in. You did this. You killed your husband. You somehow got him to the burn pile. And now you want to incriminate your son? You're a piece of work, lady. You're a piece of work.
This is something that I will never recover from.
Yeah.
I don't know that my
And you
family
shouldn't.
will ever recover
And
from.
you shouldn't.
Sentenced to life with,
What did the prosecutor
it
say?
has,
Oh no.
In the very beginning of deliberations, your statement, I ask that you take note of its inconsistencies with the evidence, respect the jury's verdict, which I know you will do, that the verdict has spoken. And we ask,
This is Gary.
in addition to what we previously asked, Judge, as a condition that she never profit from this story, from this crime,
Yep.
I just ask that you include that into her sentence, please.
Good.
all right.
Good. Now it's her turn to get her sentence.
I don't believe this is the case that justifies a life without parole sentence, so I'm gonna sentence to life with parole,
Look at her face.
or life with the possibility of parole. I don't have any control over parole, that's up to the parole board. Under the current guidelines and sentencing structure with them, a life sentence is a minimum 30 years before you'd be considered for parole at this point. I recognize that that is likely a life sentence for you.
That's what it is. A life sentence for her, pretty much. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, gosh. She was too much. She was too much. Like, I couldn't... When I was listening to this at work, I was like, wow. She got some nerve. You didn't talk this whole time. You were holding on to such this, evidence all the way until the end, all the way until the jury, presented it and said what they believe. Lady, you lost. The jury has spoken. You are guilty. Bye-bye. Rest in peace, Gary. Rest in peace. I heard he was a great man.